Hi, everybody.
How you feeling?
I actually feel so good. I have been resting.
Right.
I had a very hectic week last week, and I got shut down where I had to like just sit down and do nothing for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Preparing me for this wonderful
And look
30
at it.
minutes, and here we
Look at
are.
it. Here we are. I will not belabor any more introductions. Let's just get into it. You've got some pretty flowers here. Some really pretty flowers. I want you to take 2 or 3 minutes to just tell us what these are and why they're here today.
Okay, so I brought a lot of my faves because I feel like I think there's a lot of things where people are like, oh, I don't like roses, but you don't like roses because you haven't seen the right rose yet. You know what I mean? So there's the Moab rose that I absolutely just love. In my own creative process, I'm always looking for something a little bit either forgotten or something that's a little odd or curious that you haven't really seen before. These are clematis pods. So they're actually like the clematis that like grows on a vine. Once the flower dies off, it turns into these little Dr. Seuss, Horton Hears a Who things. And I'm just like obsessed with them. Anything that starts to look very Dr. Seuss-y, I'm in. So then you also get into like the fritillaria that are like really weird.
I like that one.
Aren't these great?
I love that one.
I think this one looks really good with your outfit too. We have the Lysianthus that also looks good with your outfit. I basically curated all these flowers for Sam and his color palette today, not having any idea what he was gonna wear.
I love it.
I'm just that good.
love it.
I also, like one of my favorites since I've been in like high school, I guess, is the Gloriosa. Back in the olden days, AKA the 90s for me, like these would not come on such long, elaborate, beautiful stems that we could use. They were basically just like chop them up like this and put them in a little bag, and they were super expensive, but now they're really long and expensive. So that's really fun to use.
I love it.
So I just thought I'd bring some flowers for you guys to kind of see. And
Which one is your favorite and why?
My favorite, I always go for the greens. My favorite is the Blue Star Fern.
Yeah.
And I just love this so much because it has so much texture. It's very graphic, but it's also kind of got that icy blue color, which I think is just so weird and flowy. It has movement, but it has rigidity. It's soft, it's hard, it's opposition all in one. So that's my vibe.
I love it. We're gonna talk more about flowers.
Yes.
And maybe even before you leave, have you give some folks in the crowd
I'll consider
tips
it.
for flowers.
I'll
maybe,
consider
more
it.
flowers.
I'll think about it.
But first, I'm really interested, for Maurice Harris, what is your definition of creativity?
Okay, so creativity for me, great question, because I think it's it's a two-part for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a hard question to answer because creativity is just so incredibly vast. I think creativity is anything outside of the status quo. So if you, lately I've really been into how I make my eggs in the morning, and I watch a lot of videos around it, and so lately I've been doing this heat up the pan super hot, and then melt the butter, put the eggs in there, use chopsticks to stir it really fast, take it off the heat, keep stirring, put it on, because I'm just trying to get this fluffy, pretty situation. I think that's an expression of creativity, right? Down to how someone uses oil paint or how someone arranges flowers. I think it's just how you live your everyday life. Now, here's the part that I think might be a little bit tricky, is I think the things that we decide get the attention of creativity, of artists, of who gets to be called an artist, all those different things. I think that's where it gets a little interesting. For me, it needs to be something that moves the conversation forward. So I think artists have a way of synthesizing current events, things
and
that are
light
happening.
shining.
And just essentialize it with the two fingers that are, and there's life. I think it's that.
Why flowers for your creativity? You weren't always doing flowers.
No, but I think we do the things that we see. So I think, like, I have a friend who's a photographer, and his dad has worked at, I don't know, Channel 7 as a video operator forever. So his interest in video equipment and photography is because he's just been around that for a long time, you know? My grandmother and my mother both are people that highly inspire who I am, and they're very creative people, and they're insane craftsmen. My mother used to make all of my sister's dresses.
Wow.
My grandmother was a florist.
Did she make hats? No.
My grandmother made hats.
Yes, and let's just show the hats.
Yeah.
That's his grandma.
That's my grandma.
Give it up for grandma.
And
she looks so good.
Those are all of her hats. She's like a thriving 93-year-old lady. Always, like, literally, I did this photo shoot with her, and she was like, oh, I don't know how many outfits I can do because I have to make sure I have the right camisole to go with each hat and tie. And I was like, girl, ain't nobody gonna see that camisole. So but she, like, takes it seriously.
So it came through your family. They were creatives.
It did. And I always wanted to do something creative. I didn't know what that looked like. I feel like I chose the path of least resistance. I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to be a struggling artist person. So I was like, what do I do? And why did I choose flowers? That's a whole nother.
Well, because, to hear you say path of least resistance, when I am trying to go get flowers to have pretty things in my home, it's the most resistance. Because I'm like, how do I arrange these? How do I do it? What do you think made flowers seem so accessible to you?
Because I would watch my grandma.
She would arrange.
Yeah, she taught me how she did it a little bit, and I would just watch her do it over and over and over again. So,
what was her number one tactic for a good
the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So she always
really?
Yes.
Wait, say more.
She designs which is a very classical design principle, designing in threes. And in like kind of a triangle, and everything is a little bit asymmetrical. And so and the way she described it to me was, you always have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Baby.
It's so church lady.
Yeah, she is.
I love it. Because like that's just the rule of threes, which we all hear, but she made it church.
And that's the way that she described it. Hence the she doesn't play about her hats and all that stuff. So I feel like that was a huge part of like why I chose flowers, but also I fell into it. I don't think I went to school for fashion.
And you worked in fashion.
Yeah, I found garment making really long and laborious in a way that was, I was like, girl, I don't want to do another fitting on the same muslin. I can't. And then I wanted to be an architect, and I was just like, ain't nobody walking into a building that I built because you might not come out alive, and I can't be responsible for that. And so flowers, there was like a lot of flexibility. It's like, this will be dead in a couple of days, and ain't nobody gonna remember it. So I kind of love that. And I also did window display. So window display felt like and as that world was kind of dying off, I was buying my supplies and stuff around the flower department, or in the flower district in LA. And so it was an easy lift. It was just like, oh, people at the office need flowers, I'll get them.
You know, you are talking about this career transition in a way that feels really just like, oh, this happened, that happened, and there I am. But there are probably a lot of folks in this crowd right now who have a creative interest, desire, or passion, and are maybe very, very afraid to go there, to try it, to do their flowers. What do you say to people who you see on the cusp of that next wave of creativity for their lives or careers?
This might be a hot topic, but I would almost tell a person to keep it for themselves. Because I feel like being a creative professional, if you don't have the ability to separate your own emotional, personal interests with like your job,
That.
Child, let me be the first person to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
It really broke me down a few times because I just poured my whole body, my whole soul into every single thing that I did.
Yes.
And if you came back with one note, I'm like, do you understand how I got to this? It is like, girl, I paid you to do this. Like, this is your creative thesis. And it was a very hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Now I can walk into a project and be like, oh, sure, they want this version of me.
Yes.
It's a job. It's not personal. I'm not under attack.
Yeah. And you have to make peace, I think, knowing that sometimes the work that you feel most creatively inspired by and the work that feels the most creative to you might not be the thing that pays your bills this month.
It never is.
Say more about that.
Because when people are looking for your creativity, when they hire you, they're looking for something that is 10% outside of their comfort zone.
Write that down.
Which is literally not connected. I feel like I got a couple amens out there. Which is literally not connected to your creativity, right? Like, I'm insane. I am out of my mind, you know? And so people see all the different expressions of that, but it's like, do we hire him? He crazy. And it's like, no. I understand how to like tame it for what you're asking me to do. Like, I'm very good at compartmentalizing those different aspects of myself because I'm a creative professional. And I feel like it's really, really, really essential as creative people that we have been told, follow your passion and you'll never work a day in your life.
That's some rich kid shit. I'm sorry. That's some rich kid shit.
And I literally thought I was rich. And let me be the first one to tell you, I am not.
Well, I always feel like there is this spectrum. The things that I want to do that are the most creative and speak to me the most clearly, and the things that I can do that will make me the most money.
You got it.
And I get to choose every week, month, year, contract where to live on that spectrum. But my career and the entirety of my creativity will slide across it.
You got it.
And that's fine.
You got it.
And this idea that I have to like love the job that is creative every day, I love it a lot of days.
I don't even think you need to ever love it once.
Okay,
I mean,
okay, yes.
Literally, who cares? Go live your life. Go to work, make your money, get out of there, girl. You know, go on vacation, take a dance class, go pick some flowers somewhere, have brunch, you know? But when you go to work, please do your job. You ain't gotta be my best friend. We ain't gotta do it. No. It literally drives me nuts because we have blurred the lines in such a way that actually is detrimental to our own well-being.
Yeah.
And we've gotten so caught up in trying to blur these lines that like we're no longer living our lives anymore.
Yes. I love that you brought that up because all of that you just spoke of is complicated by the need to perform all parts of our life, creative, job, whatever, online. You are a wonderful and lovely presence on the internet, and it feels so real and so authentic.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm wondering, what is your North Star when you're thinking of letting the job be the job, the life be the life, creative be the creative? How does that show up in how you show yourself to the world?
Well, you know, I learned very young that I'm only good at being myself.
Yeah.
And while I still struggle with self-esteem things here and there, as I think most people do, I remembered I went to a lot of different schools, and every school I would be at, I would be like, I'm gonna be this way.
Like a new version of you.
Yeah. I remember a quick anecdote for that is like, I was teaching summer camps one year, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna become a
You'd be the best summer camp.
I was so good. And I was like, I'm gonna become a vegetarian this summer. And then that lunch, I had a chicken Caesar salad. You know, it's just like,
vegetarian.
I'm just not really good at like anything but who I am, you know? And so what I do is I put the things out that are just like me. And I also have help
Yeah.
to put the stuff out there because I, generally speaking, don't want to talk, which will be ironic to anybody that knows me. I don't really want to talk about myself, which is a complete lie. I always want to talk about myself, but like not in this way that's like, look at me, look at me. It's just like I want to be heard and understood and that kind of thing. But kind of the nitty gritty, I never want to put out in the internet. So I will always get in the way of that.
Yeah.
So I have people that help me just to be my truest, authentic self.
Yes.
And it's interesting because that level of authenticity that's been missing a lot in our society is often what affords me interesting jobs. And then those interesting jobs, I don't necessarily always have to talk about, especially the most well-paying ones. They're usually pretty boring and pretty straightforward and nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
And so then the things that I put on the internet are things that I'm interested in.
Yes.
Things that I want to like celebrate, things that I'm like bored by, I'm curious about, like whatever. So I always tell all my flower friends, all the different people, you post and you post things, you create things that you want to be doing.
Yes.
Right? And you collect them checks to help you keep doing the things you want to do.
That's good advice.
You know what I mean?
That's good advice.
Yeah, I think
What are flowers trying to teach all of us about creativity? Right, do it.
since you asked that. No, but I love this question so much because I think I'm really on this like life world mission
Tell us.
to get people to understand that flowers are the most essential way to understand the circle of life. Nothing is forever, nothing is permanent, and flowers are such a great reminder of how we no day is promised to us, right?
Yeah.
I can process these flowers. I processed these yesterday. I brought them all over here, and before we started, I saw a couple of them had already kicked the bucket. I checked them all perfectly yesterday, right? And still, yet, I was surprised to see some of them didn't make it. That's life. It comes, it goes, and we're able to do it all over again. Luckily, with flowers, we can keep trying it. But I think, and the other thing that I notice with flowers is you have to be incredibly present. So I've been doing flowers for a very long time. Some of the things you're saying are like projects of mine, photography of mine, and one of the things that I've noticed is capturing flowers on the internet or capturing flowers through a lens is very, very difficult because it immediately flattens. And so you're not able to get the full dimensionality of the arrangement, of the flower, of all the multiple sides. It's very, very hard and challenging. And so the best way to experience flowers is in person. And is by taking them in, no matter how many iPhone photos you take of it, it will not replace what's in your hand. What you guys are all looking at and experiencing. You're like, oh my God, this is so cool. Let me take a photo of it. But it just doesn't translate the same. And so I feel like it's such a beautiful way to be present.
Yeah.
And to be in the moment and remind us to stay in the moment because it's so easy to forget.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like, I just like the practice of like having this in your life and it is valuable.
Well, and what I think, especially your work with flowers, is really teaching us and showing us so much of what you share online is you giving flowers and arrangements to strangers.
Yeah.
And I've never seen one where they don't love it. And it's kind of this other reminder. You have, I'm guessing.
No,
okay.
yeah, no,
but
most people like it. Yeah.
Most people like it. But it's kind of this reminder. It's like creativity, aesthetic beauty, pretty things. We all like it. And you remind people of that with flowers. Like everyone kind of just freaking loves flowers.
Yeah, I feel like what do they say? You get like more bees with honey?
More bees with honey.
Something like that, right?
We should know this if that's the scripture. We're church kids. It's okay.
I never read the Bible. My dad's a pastor. I never read. Sorry,
man.
Dad.
I was so.
No, I don't have time for that.
That's another panel.
Yeah, that's a different panel. Sorry, guys. Back to the subject at hand.
Yes.
Flowers.
Yes.
I forgot my train of thought. Wait.
Talking about giving flowers to strangers.
Oh, Oh, bees
and honey.
Oh my
Sweetness.
God. Thank you so much for being locked in. I appreciate you so much because I think what I'm trying to do is connect to people in the most lowest common denominator, right? Meaning, like, what is the easiest way to meet people where they're at? And it's usually pretty things. It's like delicious food, which I don't know if you can trust everybody's cooking. But like, you know, if you're just walking down the street and somebody has something beautiful to just hand to you,
I'll take it.
Like, why not? And because that ephemerality of flowers, you really, again, it's like, it's more precious.
Yes.
It's, again, you have to be in this moment.
Yes.
And I feel like it's a way for me to take this very bizarre gift that I have. And I say that because it was so specialized and so, I've done so much work for incredible people, incredible fancy things that no one in the world will ever see, right? Like, it was so private, it was made for 50 people, it was made for 20 people here, but there are these insane floral installations. And so I wanted to take the nuance of the eye that I've developed over so long and figure out a way to share it with people that are just like regular, just like us, which was those photos you just saw with the flowers surrounding people. That was the impetus of that project, was to, all of those flowers are in camera. There's no Photoshop done in those at all. So what you see is what you get. And being able to celebrate people in that way is really beautiful to me.
Hearing you say the word celebrate, I'm in this moment now where there are many folks in my life, given the nature and tenor of the news and current events, they're kind of always in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Which, fine.
You work at a news station, so you gotta listen to that stuff. I'm sorry.
But it's like, there are people who might say, look at the world. Everything's on fire. We don't have time for this shit. We don't have time for creativity or flowers or being whimsical or being whatever. When you encounter that kind of energy, what's your response? What do you say? What do you think? Because there's a lot of people right now who might feel guilty to have fun or express their creativity given current events.
Respectfully, I love you, but I don't listen to the news.
Good.
And I don't listen to the news because my job as a person on this planet is to be a light.
Yeah.
And is to bring levity, is to bring beauty, is to bring love to the, and if I'm bogged down with too much of like what actually is going on and keeping people down, I'm not able to do my job well, right? I think two things that we don't teach people enough in this country is that you need rest and you need water, okay? And that really solves a lot of problems, ladies and gentlemen.
And fiber.
You know, and so
Helps.
so I would argue that when you allow yourself to stop and smell the roses, when you allow yourself to stop and have a human interaction, when you allow yourself to stop and like take a nap and do something nice for yourself, you're literally in recovery.
Yes.
And recharging.
Yeah.
I kind of live my life at like 45%, I think. Like if you're charging your phone and you're like, oh, I just got 45%, I'll be good. And you're really walking around like you got 80, 90%. And you get that 2% and you're like, I could get 2 more calls in. Let me go. And then your phone dies and you're like, why am I such a mess? It's like, girl, you only charged the 45%. It's not sustainable. You have to really charge your battery.
Yes. I was having a talk with someone the other week. I just found this out. But all throughout most of her life, and especially during her work in the civil rights movement, Rosa Parks was an avid yogi.
What?
She did a bunch of fucking yoga.
Oh my God.
And there's these photos of her doing it. It is so cute. It's so cute. But it's this reminder, it's like,
flexible.
You might be saving the world. You might be taking on the greatest challenge of your generation. But you can also give yourself time to care for your body, to care for your soul, and it makes you better at what you're doing.
That's what I feel like. I mean, I walk my neighborhood every day with my dog.
Yeah.
And it's my way, because like I do live in my head a bit.
Yeah.
I'm a double cancer, so I have a lot of emotions. It's very oppressive in here. Poor me. 16 years of therapy, so don't worry too much about me. But if I don't get out and like move a muscle, change a thought. Like if you just
Yes.
like go for a walk, get out of your head, like do things, be creative. Like you don't need a gallery show to be creative.
Yeah.
You need to just create because it's important.
Yeah. Well, and I think for me, when I'm thinking of the moments I'm most creative, it's always when I am the most free from a device.
Yeah.
I'm never really creative when I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting new ideas because I'm watching all these other folks on the internet. I'm not. I'm absorbing stuff, but not really iterating ideas.
Yeah.
The ideas come when I'm bored and like on the verge of like, am I lonely right now? And then poof, something happens.
Yeah.
But I have to have that quiet.
You know, again, the project that keeps looping, the one with all the flowers with the portraits.
Yeah.
The impetus for that was also I was just really getting fed up with like how all of my creative work, this is when I was learning that like just being full on creative and your job and all this stuff and like being resentful that nobody was getting what I was like trying to, picking up what I was putting down. And so I literally just did that project because I needed to do it.
Yeah.
I was spending so much money to do that project because I just had to put it out there.
Yes.
I had to borrow money from my brother, and which seems absurd to make this little calendar project that I had to do and whatever. And I say this to say, like, I had to do it. If something gets in your body and you just have to do it and it doesn't make financial sense and all that stuff, just do it. Listen to the internet. Listen to listen to your inner self. Listen to the universe telling you to get it done. Because that job, in turn, I want to say I borrowed close to $15,000 from my brother to produce this like
Shout out,
calendar
brother.
project, whatever.
Appreciate it.
I don't know that we got money like that, but apparently we did back then. But I've made probably $250,000 off of that project. And it wasn't from the sales of that calendar. It was from people seeing it out in the world, hiring me, wanting me to do work like that, wanting me to reiterate this same vision for what I had to just create.
That is
so it's never really linear.
I had a boss in college, Dr. Mack, bless her soul, out there, but she had one great piece of advice. She would always tell us, your gifts will make room for you. Just live your gift. You got a gift, do it. The right things, people, and places will gather towards the gift. Your gift will make room for you.
It's hard to stay focused on that when you ain't making no money. Trust me and believe me, I do clearly understand that because it'd be a struggle sometimes. We be making money and then we ain't making nothing. So, and you got a whole thing to, but it's so true. If you can stick to what you need to do creatively through the highs and the lows, my God. Woo!
No church yet. We gotta go. We got 17 seconds, but I know, I want it too. One piece of flower advice.
Oh, okay. You guys, like I'm gonna keep it very literal. And you guys should all follow me on the internet at Bloom Plume if you don't already. And send them to me. I'm gonna be looking at what y'all doing once I give this advice. I'm gonna be pissed if I don't see it. No greens below the water line, okay?
Oh. Why not?
When you are manicuring your flowers,
you gotta laugh.
Take these greens off if they're gonna be underwater.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I get that.
Fresh cuts at a 45-degree angle, and then you put it in. No greens under the water line. Everybody's like, why don't the flowers last? Why they die so fast? And then don't put them under your heater. They don't want to be hot, okay? That's my golden rule advice.
We're at time. I am so honored to have had this time with you, Maurice, and with all of you.
Fun.
take these flowers and do fun things with them.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you guys so much. I
Appreciate
had
you.
such a blast. Enjoy your pin cushions.
We're taking a selfie. Come here.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.